Well, this season, I had a playlist of songs that I wanted for Penelope's season, and they took one of them. I'm putting them on blast for it. So I had Dancing on My Own by Robin, and they put in this season. I was like, dang it! I was like, I wanted that for Penelope's.
Hola cinéfilos, yo soy Andru y estoy muy feliz de estar con ustedes en esta oportunidad para entrevistar al elenco de la segunda temporada de Bridgerton. Quienes me siguen en mi canal saben que amo recomendarles películas y series para ver en las diferentes plataformas de streaming, y desde que Bridgerton se estrenó en Netflix a mí me encantó. Así que muchas gracias Gaby y a todo el equipo de Fuera de Foco por esta gran oportunidad de entrevista. Esta serie está basada en las novelas homónimas de Julia Quinn, donde seguimos las vidas de personajes de la alta sociedad británica, mientras que sus problemas, conflictos y dramas son expuestos por un panfleto de chismes escrito por la misteriosa Lady Whistledown. Hola cinéfilos de Fuera de Foco, yo soy Andrew y aquí estoy con Nicola Cullen. How are you? I'm so happy to be with you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good. How are you? I love your background.
Good.
Very good. Lovely to meet you.
Bridgerton's last season ended with an unexpected ending where Penelope is the main character because we realize she's Lady Whistledown. And in this new season, we can see a bit more of her way of working, how she makes new alliances. But the question of how and why Penelope began to write about others is still there. Do you think in some future we can see all that story behind the character?
I would love that. I think, what's interesting about Bridgerton is we know it's a different love story each time. So, it's going to be Colin and Penelope's story at one point. So I think you'll get to go... Well, I'm hoping. I don't know anything yet, so this is total speculation. I hope that you get to go back in time and see how this all started for her, and why. But I think for me, it totally makes sense why someone like her would do this, because she's someone who's really shy and expresses herself clearly much better through her writing. So I think it's, she was used to being not treated very nicely by her family or by society. So this was her way of having her voice out there and showing everyone that she's so smart and witty and all of this stuff. So yeah, but I would be excited to see the origin of that, definitely.
I'm so excited too if that happens. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the show and a big fan of the new love triangle we have this season. Anthony, Kate, and Edwina definitely have a lot of decisions to face and make. Without any spoiler for you, Jonathan, which do you think is the most powerful message of this season? The loyalty of oneself, the duty, the brotherhood, because we have two pairs of siblings, the Bridgertons, the Charmas.
Very good question. I think really fundamentally it's about family. It's about knowing who your family is and standing by that. And also, in order to serve your family, you have to serve yourself. So it's about, looking in and working out who you are before you love. I think that's the big thing.
Lady Whistledown's voice is iconic. It's none other than Julie Andrews. When you found out that you were going to be Lady Whistledown, but represented by this beautiful woman, but with this beautiful voice, how did you feel?
I mean, I cried. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, like they told us it was someone iconic, but I couldn't believe they'd gotten someone that iconic. And it's amazing to think that I share that role with one of the most iconic women on the planet is still mind-blowing to me.
That's awesome.
The background is amazing.
Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, in this new season, we see the story turning around another of the Bridgerton brothers, while the stories of the others continue developing step by step. Are you excited to think that at some point the season will come when we get to know more about the characters of Benedict and Colin? For example, is it possible that we get to see flashbacks of Colin's travels?
Ooh,
that'd be good,
really,
wouldn't it?
Yes, I'm going to suggest that. Thank you, because there are some writers here today. So.
Yeah, maybe you should speak to the writers. I think that's a really good spin-off, at least.
And actually, really like a nice little trip to Greece for real.
Oh yeah, good for you. You get a holiday.
None of the studio stuff. Like, on a beach.
You'll only film there.
Yeah, I will only film in Greece.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. Actually, one of the most overwhelming phone calls for me was when we were told that we'd been confirmed for season 3 and 4, because obviously when we started the show, we had no idea how it was going to be received, and we didn't know it was going to have the success that it's had. Being an actor, you go through these times when you may do a show and then it may not get to
third or fourth or fifth season. So to be told officially that we're confirmed for season 3 and 4 was really overwhelming, actually, and to realise, wow, I'm gonna be sort of taken to the front at some point.
And it's the long haul, you know, like we're really gonna spend lots of time with these characters, and that's lovely because there's always, I mean, you know, like with any human being, like there's always more to explore. So it's just lovely to realise that you have the time to really like explore every little corner and see how they develop as well through
and work with us all. That we've had so much fun the last 2 years to know for sure that we're going back to do another 2 and work with the same team. You know, we had the same crew, we had the same people involved as last year, so it was really fun to go back, and now looking back, it went so quick, and now we're looking forward to doing the next season, and it's all, I imagine in 10 years we'll all look back and it'll be like, wow, we all did that in like it's of 8-9 years. It's crazy.
That's awesome. I would love to give you some ideas. In this moment, we see Penelope between two worlds. Now she has a new ally who helps her, but at some point she may need even more help. If Penelope had to choose between Eloise or Colin to tell them the truth about Lady Whistledown and ask them for help, who do you think she would choose?
Oh God. I feel like my instinct is saying Colin, only because I feel like it's been much more of a betrayal to Eloise, because she's getting so much information from Eloise and has been lying to Eloise's face about it. Whereas with Colin, they don't really discuss Whistledown very much, a little bit. But yeah, I feel like Colin, I think.
Okay, that's a very good point. And in this season, I'm especially intrigued by the addition of the character of Kate. She believes in true love, even though she doesn't want to get married. But at the same time, she allows herself to feel and fall in love with someone, in this case, the Viscount. Simone, how does it feel to be in a show set in London in the 1800s, but that leaves such a clear and strong message to the society and women in this century?
Wow, great question. I think, you know, the show, regardless of what time period it's set in, we can all relate to the characters' journeys and what they're going through, what the heart wants, when the heart breaks, the sense of family. And I guess Kate's journey in particular, I just hope women can, in today's society, see her story. I guess know that fearlessness, bravery, and vulnerability are traits that I think we could all explore and wear on our sleeves more often. She takes a leap, quite literally. No spoilers, but and kind of flies to the nest, I think, as to what was her home and her responsibility as being an elder sister in this family. And I think one of Kate's messages, I guess, would be she's got to let her family in and be vulnerable with her family and being honest with herself to be honest with them, and getting to know her own voice, what it is that she really wants, in order to be truthful to the people around her. Because I think the more that she kind of deflects off that, then she unfortunately may make mistakes and let people down, but she learns from it.
Well, I've always thought about this show, you know, people aren't as different as we like to think we are, and time changes and society changes, but people remain the same. So I love that this is a show set 200 odd years ago, but it's still so relatable to women nowadays. And, you know, it's also seeing how difficult it was for them, but they still had the same sort of struggles that we have. And it's also, I think I really love about it is it's also not women of one particular age, it's women of all ages in this show. And also it's such a diverse bunch of women as well, and that's, you know, the heart of the show, what makes me so proud to be part of it.
And in this new season, we can see much more of the bond between the three brothers, Anthony, Benedict, and Colin. Did you have any experience during the filming of this season or first season that has made that brotherhood stronger?
Well, I think I'd say every single scene.
Yeah.
Like, I think the way those sort of, I guess that's sort of what I was saying earlier. Like, I think every single scene you get to develop the relationship more. Like they're like little building bricks. There's not, you know, I just sort of feel like every time we're putting a scene together, like actually looking at this season and how there was actually a little bit more of us three together, and you learn so much more by doing those scenes. Totally. You find out more about that bond, about that relationship. So there's sort of like little building blocks. Then you always just add another little colour, and you never know quite where it's going to go. So
we definitely had moments during season 1 where we, you know, if there were long days, I particularly remember a scene when it was a boxing scene and us three were watching. I think it's when Anthony's looking at Sienna and she's across the ring, and we started harmonizing to a song, and we'd done it for the entire day, and everyone around us was getting really sick of it, but we thought it sounded great. Yeah. And I guess it was days like that really like we bonded so much that then when we put those scenes into season 2, it felt like really natural for us to just kind of bounce off each other. And there are moments, I remember even in season 2, there's that scene when we're playing pool, and at points we felt quite exposed because, you know, we were meant to be having a drink and sort of having a good time. But everyone was so, like, you two lads were so supportive. I think I went first on one of the really like exposing shots where I was like, oh, feels really uncomfortable, but I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, it was so much fun, and to have you like have the bond that we've got from season 1 and going into season 2. That's what's great about this show, is like the longevity of it and being able to.
One of the things I love the most about the show is the music and the classic versions of pop songs. What was your favorite song of this season, of all of you?
For me, it has to be the Bollywood number. Just because I don't think I've ever seen that on TV before. And like, it's a nod to my culture, the films that I watched growing up, especially because that movie is like a family classic. So without a doubt, that's.
And the sort of the underscore on the soundtrack is just one element that is so surprising to us when we finally get to see it.
Yeah.
Because all of that happened way after we finished.
Yeah.
And the choices.
Okay.
And they're all the things that really elevate the show. And so it's really exciting. But Robin. Yeah, dancing on it.
Well, this season, you know, I had a playlist of songs that I wanted for Penelope's season, and they took one of them. I'm putting them on blast for it. So I had Dancing on My Own by Robin, and they put in this season. I was like, dang it! I was like, I wanted that for Penelope, so I'm making a new list, but I'm keeping it secret of all the things I want for Penelope.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
No problem. Thank you.
Eso ha sido todo, cinéfilos. Muchas gracias, Gaby, y al equipo de Fuera de Foco de nuevo por esta oportunidad. Y ya saben, como siempre les digo, nos vemos en el próximo video. Adiós.
Lady Whistledown's words carry far too much import. We must entrap the scribbler.
Genius idea, ma'am.
Yes, that is why I thought of it.